Now, if you go and attack Spain, so check. Time to start conquest of Iberia. I'm also coming with the very good news because on Humble Bundle there's a special EU4 Ultimate Complete Collection where you can buy all of the DLCs, well except Origins, for only 18 bucks. Perfect moment to go and fill your missing DLCs. All you have to do to get there is to go on the link in the description of the video and the pinned comment. What a beautiful Albania we got here, right? I need to revoke some things I did at the very end of the first episode of this campaign because I'm 70 over my government capacity. That's giving me more expansion, co-creation cost, worse improved relations and high cost of the advisors. I cannot afford it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cancel the course that I just started doing, so they are on the 0% of progress. Then we gotta still a duchy, that's why our gov capacity is so small. So I'm just gonna go and get my prestige up to 50. To do so, I'll cancel this privilege from the burghers. I'm gonna take it again. Now it's 55. Thanks to it we can become a kingdom, and thanks to it we don't have any problem with gov capacity. So coring these provinces is gonna be actually cheaper than it was before. Our improved relations is far better than it was before, and cost of our advisors is far lower than it was before. Who on the Trust Tamara just died? He was like 85 years old, and I'm like 100% sure. 660 is Isabel the Trust Tamara. I'm 100% sure IBM wedding will happen right now. Screw it, I'm gonna give it a second try. Bulgarian separatists, I can provoke them over here. They should go to Ottomans first, no to Silistria. The plan is, Ottomans don't have any troops over here, and they won't have enough troops to stop these rebels, so unless Hungary and Austria decide to kill them, we might try and force Bulgaria to break free from the Ottomans. I completely forgot I was supposed to kill this 1-4 guy. I remembered when I saw that he got indulgence, so trade efficiency minus 10%. Bye. I think Bulgarian separatists are drunk, because instead of sieging down Vidin, they are sieging down Constantinople. But honestly, this is not that bad news because I can just not do anything with them. Remember, when you go in the province and you click this, you can see province history, so you can check when it was occupied by the rebels, because it was October 2 years ago, so they will need far more time before actually breaking free. And even though my truce with the Ottomans ends in next year, for now I'm not gonna attack them, I'm just gonna go and have fun in Karakoyunlu. So we just declare for the conquest of Kars. They have just 26,000 troops, so that should not be a problem for us. 524 is actually a good heiress because it's a daughter. Let's just go and take her. QQ army quality check, let's go and see. Oh, oh, our truce with the Ottomans ended, but we are obviously waiting for these rebels to enforce first. No. This game really don't want these rebels to break free. Because right now, freaking the Ottomans attacked Genoa, which is being helped by freaking Venice. So they are gonna reoccupy all of the provinces. So it's not gonna work again. What you doing, rebels? Everything wasted, guys. Everything wasted. Let's be anyway peace out Karakoyunlu. I want full money, all of these provinces. Send it this deal. Destroy one fort, I'll keep the other. Why don't we add those provinces to a trade company? Because this is 2 trade centers. Maybe I will be able to slowly get over here a merchant. That's indeed a golden era for Albania. Everything's gonna just be easier right now. So I have some money now. Let me start improving my trade centers to start earning more money. For example, Constantinople, and maybe even those in Crimea. No, I don't have merchant yet to control this trade. Wait a second, I do. Ragusa is my main node, so I can send my merchant straight to Crimea. So let me just set it. Why don't we actually... Oh, it's a tough choice. We need more trade power in Constantinople. Let's collect in Crimea for the time being. Surprise, but I'm happy with the Iberian wedding, because while at war with Venice, Aragon was helping them, and now they got forced out of this war because they are no longer independent. This way we're only fighting with Naples and Venice and Genoa. In the meantime, Ottomans are raping Venice fleet, so I should be even able to land in their capital. From Venice I only want those 2 trade centers, Urbino and Venezia, as well as the islands here, so I can control the better borders. Of course, full money, breaking relations to also get some prestige. It's gonna be super beautiful, and all of the promises in the Venice trade node I'm gonna add to the trade company. Now, as that's out of, I guess, expansion, especially in Italy, I'm gonna right away attack the Ottomans to make sure they will not join my coalition. It's gonna be a reconquest of, let's say, Egypt, because that's a fort, and call Austria into this war. Ottomans are one of the few nations that, even though they lose half of their country, they can still survive, beat the Mamluks, and get 80,000 of the troops, which is more than my current force limit. Now, we occupied most of the country, that's 0% of the war score, because they occupied half of Austrian Empire, because it's Austria, Hungary, Bohemia, and Burgundy. This is actually not such a bad situation for us, because Ottoman economy is simply dying. The income drops to 29 already, and they have 1.5 thousand of debt, because I just keep occupying their provinces. And now I also know why it's going so bad for Austria. Siege ability of the Ottomans. With defensive edict over here, and my Albanian traditions, they have still such a high siege ability. We need to go and defend. With Austria out of the war, we are fighting with superior enemy, but we have 63% of the war score, so I'm just gonna get out of this war ASAP. So, I'm gonna take all of the cores of my vassal Karaman. I'm gonna take Sinop, Shugla for the trade centers, and Edirne to fix the borders, and it's not a Bulgarian core. Then let's just go and take as much money as they're gonna accept. Step by step, we're gonna destroy them. Remember, the main goal of this campaign is to get the Iberia or Albania achievement. To get that, I need to conquer whole Iberia, and now it's a problem because they are allied to France and Portugal. To avoid fighting with both France and Castile, I'm just gonna go and make claim on France over here, and I'm gonna attack France for this with calling Austria. This way I'm gonna lose one stability because of our marriage with France, but at least Castile will not be in this war as long as we'll fight with Tunis, which might take longer time than Austria just rolling over France. Let's attack them. That's also some, I guess, expansion, but nothing really problematic. It doesn't mean we can't stop a real expansion into Caucasia, so just go and attack Mr. QQ. I keep telling you that AI should be smarter on this patch, right? And sometimes you can see that, but sometimes, for example, France is throwing all of the troops on my ally instead of protecting their own lands from this same ally. Maybe it's 400 IQ move to just piece out Austria and kill me, but I don't think they're gonna do that quick enough to stop that from happening. At least I can break alliance between Provence and France, so be able to expand into this nation over here. And now it's all about just piecing out France for, first of all, breaking the alliance with Castile, and second of all, maybe some additional war reparations or something, and we need to do that before Castile pieces out Tunis. My next government reform is gonna be focused on cheaper advisors. Please, France, break your relations with Castile, give me your reparations and as much money as... Ooh, you're gonna accept, but I'm not gonna get all of this, I'm gonna get 400, which is good enough for me. And next step is gonna to be break my alliance with Castile and start taking care of them. It's high time to move our main node to Venice. So let me go to Venezia, move the main node over there, and now there'll be a couple of things to adjust it. We need to transfer trade power from Ragusa to Venice instead of collecting in Venice. We need to transfer trade power from Constantinople to Ragusa instead of collecting in Constantinople, and we need to send these ships. I think I will gonna actually split them. So this half will protect trade in Venice. Let's go. And these ships, together with the flagship, are gonna protect trade in Ragusa, because we cannot lose all the value that's coming from here to here. Our trade income is just 13.56. Let's see how this change is gonna affect that. We might need an additional math trick to do it. And you can actually see that the income is still the same, because there's too much income being stolen from Ragusa, and I don't have enough trade power in Venice. Take the 1% loans, we need to improve the trade sentence in Ragusa. So let me go to Selanik, let me get the dev meta. Dev twice, that's 10, we can improve. Go to Athens, get the dev meta, dev it twice, upgrade it, go to Durres, get the dev meta, dev it 5 times, upgrade. And we should probably also improve the trade center in Shugla, as well as this twice here, and upgrade this as well. So I'm really counting on this income to increase even further. What if I just collect in Constantinople in the meantime before I get more trade power? Yes, that's 17.2, so that was worth it. Just as of now, it's not worth to transfer from Constantinople to Ragusa, but we'll fix that. So maybe we should just also send all of our ships to protect the trade power in Venice instead of doing that in Ragusa. Yes, now that's 19. and we'll be slowly increasing amount of our ships in the fleet. Last admin idea is tech cost, as well as gov capacity modifiers, so this way we don't have any issue with gov capacity, and our admin tech cost is just 800, even though it's plus 70%. I also got a policy, which is for manpower recovery speed as well as land maintenance modifier. Integration is a slow process right now. We've got a big chunk of Anatolia that we need to connect in the next war against the Ottomans. Did somebody say gold rush? And of course we have Spain formed, but they are not that strong yet. I'm really hoping to be able to ally France to go and kill them. There goes Tech 10, and my third idea group is gonna be diplomatic. I don't want to take too much from Venice because we have perspective of conquering Iberia. That's why I'm gonna take Istria and Ravenna. Istria because it's a trade centers, and Ravenna to get connections to Ferrara, because Ferrara has a trade center that we need, and if we take a look at this expansion, it's just right to also take it. In the meantime, I'm just gonna add everything to trade company that finally gave us a third merchant that I'm gonna go and send either to Crimea or Alexandria. We need to test both of the choices. Let's start with Alexandria. Now it's not making that much of a difference, 25.9. Why with Crimea? That's 25.7, so absolutely no difference. So I think it might be even better to just send it to Venice instead. And that's 26.2, so also absolutely no difference, but I guess I'm gonna keep it like that. Our rule just died, which is unfortunate, but the new one is 524. It's just not so useful with diplomatic ideas, so let me change my focus to Diplo. I should also find an improved relation advisor, but not level 1, we need at least level 2 or ideally level 3. New air is absolutely not adjusted to our idea set, but we should be able to feel our ideas before this guy gets on the throne. We actually have a lot of crownlet. Let me sell the titles just to seize land and keep it over 30. Now we have 2.7 thousand ducats. Why don't we spend it on one of our great projects? And I was actually thinking about the Venetian one, which is reform progress growth. It's already 10%. Maybe offensive advisor cost, or maybe just nothing for now. Let's just spend this money on the buildings. Yeah, I'll just spend it on the buildings with some workshops to increase our economy, with some of the barracks to increase our manpower, and marketplaces for additional income, and then they just start repaying these loans to get rid of the inflation slowly. Well, that doesn't happen often. Like, how much diplomatic reputation Austria had to actually inherit whole Hungary? This is scary. From the Ottomans, I want to connect my lands, get some claims, as well as almost all of the Caucasian provinces that they are having in their hands. That's making the borders better and better, and we need to start preparing for war against Spain. If I want to attack Spain right now, Austria wouldn't be so willing to do so, because attitude towards enemies is very high. But what if I go to Austria?
I'm gonna do what's called a pro-gamer move.
I go to favors, I go to reduce opinion of Spain. That's gonna be minus 100 relations. We need to get our diplomatic reputation higher. Then I'm also gonna ask Austria to prepare for war, which should make them way more willing to help. I still have plenty of admin, and let me use all of that on reducing our inflation down to 4.7, so the balance is 31. I love how Ottomans have 40k of total army, and 32k out of it is staying in luck and cannot move. Mr. Austria, ask to prepare for war. Now, if you go and attack Spain, Austria's gonna help us. Let me do that right away, because I'm afraid they're gonna change their mind. So, check. Time to start conquest of Iberia. There goes the first Age of Reformation perk, and I want the wars causes. Are there religions? Yes, let's start with this. It will not help me against Spain, but will be helping me cleaning the borders with the Ottomans. Mr. Portugal, you have to break your relations with both Great Britain and Spain. I'll have to eat them later, right? Take full money as well as war reparations, and instead of full money, as much as they're gonna accept. And then Mr. Spain, I'm taking my claims to release a nation over here. I'm taking southern provinces over here for myself, especially Granada for Alhambra. Cáceres should be fine because it's a call of Leon, so be able to release them. That should be just perfect. Just take maybe this Cordoba and also war reparations and full money. This way there's no expansion. I can just send the peace deal, release Leon. This way you have reconquest Casus Belli for all of this. Release Aragon. That's a little bit unfortunate because they also get Majorca, but it's fine because we have reconquest Casus Belli for all of this. So these provinces and these provinces will be very easy to be taken in the next war. And the rest of the provinces just start coring. Anyway, I think I will finish my conquest of Caucasia and Iberia in the one last final episode. So guys, if you enjoyed this series and you would like me to continue it and finish with these beautiful Albanian borders, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to get notified about the next videos. Bye!